Hello, I'm Michael Ettinger from Ettinger Law Firm, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today on our topic, the 4 pillars of estate planning. That's a trademark program prepared and invented by the Ettinger Law Firm. I'm going to start with an introduction of the 4 pillars program. The first pillar is the basic plan using a revocable living trust. And the reason we use the revocable living trust is in outline form to avoid court proceedings on death, avoid guardianship proceedings on disability. Today about half of all people eventually become disabled, what with people living a lot longer, about 31 years on average longer than we did a century ago. And the revocable trust avoids a court interference through a guardianship proceeding. We also use the revocable living trust estate plan, that first pillar, to avoid the probate that would occur for clients who own properties in another state. So that if you have a will, you have to probate it not only in New York, but also in the other state where the property is located. And finally, we use the revocable living trust to avoid or reduce the New York State estate tax for couples with estates over $1 million. The second pillar is the inheritance trust to keep it in the family. Most people, unknown to them, have an inherent defect in their estate plan. They actually have no plan to keep it in the family. We're going to show you how to keep your hard-earned assets in the bloodline so they go to your grandchildren instead of in-laws or perhaps to even strangers. It protects the inheritance you leave from the children's divorces, lawsuits, and creditors as well. Then the third pillar of estate planning is the elder law portion, protecting your assets from the devastating costs of long-term care. And here you'll see we have 2 choices. Either long-term care insurance, and we like to say get it while the getting's good. In other words, the sooner you get it, the less expensive it is, and of course you want to get it while you're insurable. If you can't get long-term care insurance, either for financial reasons, you can't afford it, or for medical reasons, perhaps you have been turned down or you know you don't qualify, you're going to want to know about the Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. It's an irrevocable trust. I'm going to explain the effect of that, but that's the trust you set up 5 years ahead of time so that if you eventually end up in a nursing home, they cannot take the assets that are in the trust. Finally, the 4th pillar of estate planning is the program that keeps it up to date. Ettinger Law Firm has developed a proprietary program. It's trademarked by us. We call it the lifetime estate planning process, so it's unique to the firm. And it's based on our belief that for an estate plan to be truly effective, there has to be some process to keep it up to date so it works when you need it, not when you wrote it, which could be years or decades earlier. So the features of that 4th pillar, the lifetime estate planning process, are: first, the law firm tracks your plan for law changes. We have a computer program to do that. We publish a law letter once a week. It comes on the internet into your email box. It's called the Ettinger Elder Alert, so we can keep you up to date on the law and what's happening in the firm. We review the plan every 3 years. There's no charge for that. The law firm sends you a letter and asks you to come in for a free review to see if there's any changes in your health, your assets. What about your family? Births, deaths, marriage, divorces. So we make sure the plan is up to date when it comes time to use it, not when you wrote it many, many years before. So that's the introduction to the 4 pillars of estate planning. The first pillar, the basic plan using a revocable living trust. The second pillar, the inheritance trust to keep it in the family. The third pillar, protecting your assets from long-term care, nursing home. And fourth, the 4th pillar, the program that keeps it up to date, the lifetime estate planning process. We do have a workbook online which you can download if you like and follow along with us, or if you prefer, just listen to the program and you'll get the benefit of it. Thank you, and now let's proceed to the first pillar, the basic plan using a revocable living trust.